And we're back. I do want to change one thing. I do want to change one thing. I do want to change one thing, yeah. Let's go like this. Like this. Oh, hold on. That's not the one I want. Oh, this one's going to be fun. This one will be cool. Okay, we're just going to waste the first like 12 minutes of this stream. It'll be fine. Okay. And then we're going to mute this. It's going to go away.
Dear crew,
Why are you making noise?
Terminals were not designed for coding.
Terminals were not designed for coding.
A lot of coding agents still run there today. At the same time, the models have become
Why
so
are you
good,
still making
they can run
sound?
for much longer on very complex tasks. But that means
I'll
you
figure
end up
this out.
jumping terminal window.
There you go, something like that. And then I go back here. Let's see if this works. I'll be super excited. Gotta bring this one to this guy back here. Go like that. Then unhide this. Oh, it doesn't work. Boo! I can make it work still. Watch this. You need to be behind these. These. I need to be in front. Yes, yes. I need to be at the top. And I need to be above it. I don't like this. I'll mess with it later. Boo! Give it a boo! Anyways, onward. Here we go. It's whatevs. The shadows keeping the rest in a dark silhouette. Face was hidden. The face was hidden. The shadows keeping the rest in a dark silhouette. In the silhouette. Okay, I promise I'll read something here at some point in time. Hello, YouTubes. Drake. Oops. Drake. I'm very happy to see you took me up on my suggestion. Welcome to our group. He held out his hand, and for a split second, I sensed Kendrick tensing. But he didn't miss a beat, accepting the handshake. Yes, well, I must admit, the introductions to the club have been annoying. Everyone laughed, and Catcher returned his attention in my direction. The look he was giving me was unnerving. The heat of the man's gaze made my skin crawl, especially since he was remaining in the shadows. Catcher was the inside man who'd provided Raven intel with information through Maverick, an informant. "Don't say I didn't warn you," Catcher laughed. God, his voice. I knew his voice. From where? Romance book lover, welcome. Thank you for liking the live. Appreciate it. From where? From where? When he stepped into the light, his eyes immediately fell down the length of my body. While they were the eyes of a hungry man, a typical response for the repulsive men who believed they owned every woman they beckoned. If I said that right, but I fricked it up. Good afternoon. Good afternoon as well. Hungry man. What time is it? It's 10:51 here. Hungry man. All right. There's no time in the booth. Time stands still. It really does. It's weird. Okay. A typical response for the repulsive men who believed they owned every woman they beckoned with their little finger. There was much more. Finger. There was much more to the moment that struck me hard. So hard, my legs began to shake. I knew the chin, the position of the dimple, and the strong jaw. I knew the scar underneath his bottom lip, caused by, oh my God. Oh, you're Ohio! Let's go. Let's go. My best buddy's in Ohio. Cleveland, to be exact. Strong jaw. Strong jaw. I knew the scar underneath his bottom lip caused by him running through a patio door as a little boy. And I knew the intensity of his ice blue eyes. I also knew every inch of his body under the expensive suit. The strong muscles and single tattoo covering the scar from being accidentally shot with an arrow by his own brother. Everything. The first man I'd ever fallen hard for. The first man who told me he loved me. The first man who touched me even when I hadn't wanted to be touched. The man who'd taken my virginity. A man who'd used the art of seduction to get what he wanted, then had walked away. And a man who'd been close to my father for as long as I could remember. Franklin Duffries. Is it DeFries? We'll let the computer decide. Copy? Copy, copy, copy. Copy, 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 copy. Bring this back over here because you're not doing what I want you to do, dog. Why do I have a monitor behind me?
Duffries.
DeFries?
Duffries.
DeFries? I don't like the way that's said. It's not even cool. Up to my discretion, let's go! DeFries. Frank DeFries. Could remember. Franklin DeFries. Could remember. Franklin DeFries. Powerful, influential, and a family man. My God, my thoughts drifted to my father, wondering if they'd remained friends. And if they had, would that mean that my father was involved with the men of the privileged? No. They're privileged? Privileged? Small burps. Okay. Of the privileged? No. There wasn't a chance. He loved my mother dearly. My thoughts continued to drift, thinking about the difficulties my parents had gone through during the first 2 years I'd been in college. As I skipped a whole word. As they all shook hands, I held my breath, uncertain what was happening. But at least I had a name and a face to one man. And a determination to bring him down. In those few seconds, I couldn't stand what was happening. The memories of trusting him, a young girl who'd been infatuated with a monster. Lightheaded, I gripped Kendrick's arm, touching the collar at the same time. The picture might be worthless, but I would continue doing my part. Suddenly, I could feel Kendrick's concerned eyes on me, although the closeness of his body was oppressive. With Franklin's gaze knowing, he dared me to say a single word or expose him in any way. Shifting his attention to Kendrick when I remained quiet. Ooh, that was too long of a pause. Expose him in any way. Why, expose him in any way, while shifting his attention to Kendrick when I remained quiet. When he held out his hand, Kendrick seemed surprised, accepting the gesture with a short laugh. Was the bastard doing nothing more than playing a dangerous game? I think Hunter will make an excellent addition to our family. Welcome. I'm certain you'll find your membership beneficial to every aspect of your company. Oopsies. I think Hunter will make an excellent addition to our family. Welcome. I'm certain you'll find your membership beneficial to every aspect of your company. Lucifer's reactions were unreadable, but there was a strange look in his eyes as he watched every detail of both Catcher's and Kendrick's reactions. How so? Kendrick asked. Lucifer glanced toward the others, and at least two of them nodded. We help each other, Hunter. I think that was supposed to be Lucifer. I fucked that up. Been playing a dangerous game? I think Hunter will make an excellent addition to our family. Welcome. I'm certain you'll find your membership beneficial to every aspect of your company. To every aspect of your... To every aspect of your company. Lucifer's reactions were unreadable, but there was a strange look in his eyes as he watched every detail of both Catcher's and Kendrick's reactions. How so? Kendrick asked. Lucifer glanced toward the others, and at least two of them nodded. We help each other, Hunter. While I didn't mention this, and I do apologize, our selection method includes determining how and if your business can provide us with any opportunities as a whole. While I was listening intently, I could still feel Franklin's eyes crawling all over me. I need to update Catcher's name, too. Can provide us with any opportunities as a whole. Franklin's eyes crawling all over. Crawling all over me. Okay, give me a second here. Franklin's eyes crawling all over me. How so? Kendrick repeated. The group shared another look. The oldest of men. Oopsies. The group shared another look. The oldest of the men. The group shared another look. The oldest of the men taking the lead. Security, both with the employees who keep us safe and with the various internet... The men taking the lead. Security, both with the employees who keep us safe and with various internet needs. Real estate, building, communications, shipping conglomerates. For example, we move our main facilities at least once every 6 months, for security purposes, of course. That requires a knowledgeable base of employees to help make the shift in location seamless. Our members are required... Oh, that's not the line, dude. Seamless. Our members require certain standards, and a break in providing for their needs and wants isn't acceptable. Kendrick nodded, lifting his glass. In other words, you believe I can provide a perfect location for a future playground. Lucifer grinned. Exactly. We plan at least a year in advance. Everything in order. It's not something we will... Oops, my dog is barking. Cool. Cool, dog. Wonder what you're barking at. Everything in order. Everything in order. Everything in order. It's not something we will spring on you, but as part of your membership, you are required to provide us with either your expertise or something more substantial. Do you have a problem with that? Not okay. Left my phone on loud. Have a problem with that? Not at all. Have a problem with that? Not at all. As long as I'm problem with that? Not at all. As long as I'm provided with advance notice. Okay, we'll do this line 7 billion times. That'll be fine. It's fine. Have a problem with that? Not at all. As long as I'm provided with advance notice. I do have clients who also plan in advance. Yes, of course. Let's drink to our new member and a long friendship. Plus, a check for $3 million. Our entrance fee. They laughed and my skin continued to crawl, a wash of heat running through every muscle and tendon. This was my chance to try to discover at least one additional identity. I could do this. I would do this. I took a step closer to Lucifer, then another, as calculated as possible. I lost my balance, pitching myself forward. I accomplished 2 objectives before falling on my ass. I knocked off 2 glasses, one belonging to Lucifer and one to another club member, and my fingers raked across Lucifer's mask, knocking it down to his neck. As soon as I fell, he crouched down while I rolled over, touching my collar. Gotcha, freak. Jeez, oh my God. Freak. Jesus, Franklin hissed in the background. Allow me, Kendrick. Franklin hissed in the background. Allow me, Kendrick grumbled. Come on, thing. Hissed in the background. Allow me. And then there's a loud race car driving my... We'll give it a moment. Uno mas moment. Okay. In the background. Allow me, Kendrick grumbled, bending down and forcing Lucifer to step away. My clumsy little slave. Did you hurt yourself? No. No, sir. My acting skills were becoming much better. Only the fear in my voice wasn't a product of my dramatic reaction, but one of true terror. The danger was crushing down on me, the anger and anxiety of never seeing Brianna again. In a move I prayed no one noticed, I shifted my gaze to my hand, giving him a slight imploring look. Kendrick realized what I was doing right away, cupping my hand. In a clean handoff, he took the piece of broken glass, slipping it into his pocket. There was no way of knowing if there was a fingerprint, but it was worth a try. As well as any humiliation or punishment Kendrick would be required to provide. Kendrick helped me to my... gross. Let me try it again. Be required to provide. Kendrick was... Nope, there's no was. Kendrick helped me to my feet, cupping my face with his fingers and digging into my skin. Don't embarrass me again. Ooh, let's try this. A little more Thortha. Digging into my skin. Don't embarrass me again, or I'll punish you right here. Do you understand me? The mask was unable to hide his obvious look of concern. Tonight needed to go according to plans. I had a terrible feeling we were working on borrowed time. I wasn't faking trembling in his arms, or the single tear slipping past my lashes. His voice was hypnotic, his eyes full of cold darkness. And we gotta mute a little bit. And we're back. Tone. Yes, sir. Tone. Tone. Yes, sir. Kendrick rubbed his jaw. Go clean yourself up. You look like shit. Restrooms are right down the hall, Lucifer said. Kendrick eyed me, knowing instantly that something was wrong. And you will come right back, Star. I'm not in the mood for your insolence. Do not require me to find you, my lovely slave. You know what happens when you disobey me. Yes, sir. I know. The others were watching far too closely. I needed air, a little space to try to regroup. It took me almost 2 months to train my slave. Oopsies, Maine. It took me almost 2 months to train my main slave, Franklin stated, even before I had a chance to move. His eyes bored into mine, as cold and calculated as I'd ever seen them. I rushed from the room, bile forming in my throat. How in God's name had this happened? It wasn't possible that seeing Franklin... Ooh, gross. What'd you do, mouth? It wasn't possible that seeing Franklin was a coincidence. Did he lure my sister into slavery? I tried to piece together the last conversations I'd had with Brianna. What had she said about the modeling? Had she found the site on TikTok herself? My brain couldn't remember all the details. Too fractured. Once inside the bathroom, I took gasping breaths, close to hyperventilating. I couldn't stop shaking. My throat almost completely closed off. Think! Fucking think! Just staring at the... Just staring at the reflection of the girl in the mirror added to the terror. I was a long way from my classroom, in quaint little house. In garish clothes and a ridiculous makeup, I no longer recognized myself. Wait a minute. Oh my God. A conversation I'd overheard came crashing down on my mind. It had been something Brianna had said months before. She had mentioned modeling. She'd been very excited because a powerful man had told her that she would make a perfect model. Not a girlfriend, a man. When I'd asked, she just told me someone she could trust. Oh my God. Franklin had been grooming her. Had that been what he'd done with me? Only I'd seen through his bullshit, shoving him aside, telling him I'd... tell my father. I turned on the water, splashing some onto my face. I'd always had a terrible feeling my father had suddenly retired because of what I'd threatened. Close to hyperventilating, I counted to 10, praying my heart rate would slow. I needed to get control. If I was right, that motherfucker needed... oh my God. Get control. If I was right, that motherfucker needed to pay. Anger swept through me, colliding with then crushing... Pay. Anger swept through me, colliding then... okay. Pay. Anger swept through me, colliding with, then crushing the fear. By the time I glanced into the mirror again, the woman I remembered as having a backbone and resolve was staring back at me. Laughing softly, I pointed my finger at the mirror. All of you are going down. I shouldn't have been shocked when the moment I opened the door, I was dragged into the shadows of the corridor. Even before I was shoved against the wall, fingers were around my throat, squeezing until I couldn't breathe. A face loomed over me, and I didn't need any light to tell what I already knew. Franklin was the monster attacking me. As soon as he leaned in, I was repulsed by the stench of him. He was wearing the same goddamn aftershave he'd worn all those years. Let's say the last word in the sentence.
Stench of him. Stench of him.
He was wearing the same goddamn aftershave he'd worn all those years ago, when I'd been too young and too naive to realize what a prick he was. I caught him off guard when I slammed my fist under his chin. I have to mute this because TikTok gets so mad at fight scenes. I think we can unmute now. Two of the goons I'd seen in the club. I found him fondling what belongs to me. Friend or not, the man should know better. Maybe you need to improve your rules of conduct. Or perhaps that's how you like to play. But I thought I was very clear in my expectations. If not, I will retract my membership. Kendrick barked. Star belongs to me. He turned his head toward Lucifer, daring the man to defy him. Lucifer sighed, slowly shifting his gaze toward Franklin. There is no need to do anything rash, Hunter. You should know better, Catcher. This isn't the way to impress a new member or your friend. I'm very sorry you had to deal with that, Hunter. I hope you will accept my apologies. I was merely admiring your slave, Hunter. You and I go way back. It would be a shame to dissolve our friendship. I promise never to touch what belongs to you again. Even as Franklin issued the words, his gaze fell on me once again. This time, my skin didn't crawl. Instead, my blood boiled. Kendrick adjusted his lapels, still glaring at Franklin. Fine. Apology accepted. However, I've lost my taste for scotch, and for the company. Enjoy the rest of your night. He grabbed my arm, leading me down the corridor, pressing his finger across his lips as he did. Even as we faded into the shadows, I felt the burning eyes of the two men, and the increasing danger. Across his lips as he did. I felt the burning eyes of the two men. And the increasing danger. Okay, we might call it there today. We just might. Because I got a lot to do in the shop. So let's do it. Alright, we had fun. Bye.